Hello guys, welcome to the PD podcast.
PowerDrift Podcast.
Same thing, no?
No,
How?
the PowerDrift Podcast.
People know us as PD, no?
PowerDrift Podcast.
Don't be a cock. Okay, anyway, listen, we got a guest this time around.
Let's behave.
You have to behave. Yeah. Maybe we behave. Let's put our hands together.
Whoa.
Welcome
Jeet
Jeet
Tapaswi.
Tapaswi to the podcast. You'll by the end of this podcast know exactly why we have him.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who actually sort of pushing the car culture without an agenda in India, I guess Jeet would be on top of that list.
Welcome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I probably want to just take a pinch to be watching the PowerDrift podcast, to be sitting on one of those chairs.
Yeah.
It's taking some time, sorry. If you see me lost for some
No,
time,
it's
it's
okay,
just
don't
this is
worry.
still sinking.
In fact, just before we started rolling this officially, we were just having this casual conversation on what you want to do in the future and cars, and I was so
Wow.
away from this because it involves a lot of cars and very little motorcycles, but we'll get into all of that.
Okay.
Jeet has an event coming up.
No, but one second.
But
Let's
let's
introduce.
Yeah.
Let Jeet introduce Jeet.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, about me, being a Pune lad forever. Love Pune like nobody. And I mean, if people are, I'm here because I love cars. Been with cars, live for cars. A lot that I can talk about cars, but in anything in specific that you want me to introduce.
Dude, what do
me
you
as?
drive?
Okay, my daily driver is a Isuzu,
Yeah.
a pickup Isuzu. I fell in love with it. This is the second one, Varun. As many people that I met, I've been able to, from the only guy who is driving a pickup, now I have about 11 in my group that we all drive Isuzu as a first time driver types. So no other cars but Isuzu. That's how we love the car.
Dude, I remember seeing your Isuzu, and then I saw Pushkar having one, and then Shivdeep having one, and it's just like a bunch of Isuzus that go out together every time they go out. It's crazy.
Varun, I just got to take you for a drive once to
in your car?
in the way we do it.
Man, I want to. do that.
You'll be surprised. A lot of your cars will move out from the garage, and the Isuzu takes the space.
Varun has one car in his garage. That's it.
That's it. That's also the.
I
wife's
kid you
decision.
not. Just plan a trip with us.
I will
a
do that,
small
bro, for sure.
countryside, like
Panchet,
we
we'll
head
go to
out.
Panchet.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
But dude,
What else do you drive? What else is in your
yeah.
garage?
There are too many cars, but driving per se, I absolutely love gypsies. Gypsies been in the family. I still have about 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
Hardtop is my favorite, a daily driver, and I kind of do a run. I live out of Viman Nagar otherwise, but because of the number of cars that I have, I live out of my family house, which is in Chinchwad.
Okay.
I get to work, I got to start early in the day, and that becomes like my circuit and my time of the day where I get to drive my cars. It's about 27 kilometers
One way.
from Chinchwad to Magarpatta.
Wow.
At 6 o'clock with a pleasant sunrise that you see, nothing can get better. I've got hooked onto that thing, and that's how my cars, I get to drive all my cars that I have in my garage.
Where do you work?
I work out of Magarpatta.
Yeah.
That's again for the love of the cars. The only way I could be sticking around with the cars to figure out if there's anything that comes closer to staying in this industry. Then it was an insurance company.
Okay.
I work for Australia, an Australian insurance. The biggest insurance that Australia has is Suncorp. I work as an associate vice president with them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I've always
That's
seen him
like
around
a
cars
very
and I'm
yeah. You wouldn't expect him to say that.
like, sitting in an office with like a tie.
Do you do that though? You have to get all formally dressed. and go to-
Unfortunately, 2 different lives that I live.
Yeah.
It's 100% Thai, like I said.
Yeah.
It's very
Wow,
professional
that's
atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And it's been 20 years in the industry that I've been working
Dude, how
with
old are
them.
you?
Any guess is size, I'll probably give you to get that.
If you said 20 years,
Dude,
right?
the thing is,
Dude, listen, both of us are very similarly aged. Do we look
Okay.
similarly aged?
No,
42?
definitely not.
No,
For
41.
me, I am about 38.
Okay, so close, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little older than us.
A little older than y'all, yeah, of course.
Age has been kinder on the both of you.
left one.
Fuck, what is wrong? What happened? Okay, you said other cars. I'm not going to prod you, but you should tell us what other cars are.
Look,
I'm sure there's more interesting stuff coming.
the first car was Zen, so I've never been able to part from my Zen. It's a very
You still have it?
I still have it. It's very cutely modded, and if I can guarantee you, if you look at the Zen, you'd probably want to turn around and still look at the Zen again.
1.3?
1.3. No, I mean 1.3 I did. Unfortunately, the braking and all didn't work. I probably moved it back to make it a stock one. But aesthetically, she looks very charming.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a black color thing right now, turned from a red to a black. But stays there in my garage. I love to look at it. Like a Sunday drive is my zen. And if there's any fast run that I got to do across the city, Zen is
It's
it.
the best thing, no? Small
Yeah,
cars,
yeah.
small little cars.
But was this the carbon steel or the stock?
Steel, apparently, I would love to own one. Been always on a hunt, but the prices are skyrocket if I would use that. But otherwise, I'm using the one which is a very practical one, a 4-seater,
Okay.
1.3, 1 liter VXI.
1
So
liter.
the
Modded to my taste.
it's so strange. I've had so many cars,
Hmm.
right? But the Zen carbon and steel are my unicorns.
Yeah.
Every time I've tried to buy one, something has happened. It's about a half a dozen cars now that I've. It's either I don't have enough money at that second, because they go quickly. They don't like stick around. a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Either I don't have enough money at that second, or something has happened where I've like been put off, or the car which was like looked much better. I've gone there with like money in hand, and then turned out to be like shit.
Yeah.
6 cars now.
One on my wish list as well. Like out of the 10 cars that I have on my wish
You
list,
want
this,
another Zen?
Zen carbon or a
Oh,
steel
steel.
in my
Okay,
garage.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should do that.
Yeah.
You all should like.
I know where a car that I want is. I just have to like get that last little bit of
Money.
because I use it on stupid months. So, so
All of us do. I mean.
All of us.
two pairs of bloody sneakers every month.
Yeah, for sure. But what else do you have, man?
My prized possession is the Evo 10, the 4B11. That's been manifested. That's how I procured it. Went bankrupt, but didn't bother. I had to source it. I know this
We've
is
all
my
been
only
there. We've all
chance.
been there.
Yeah, I mean, then apart from that, I a weekend driver, and I love to do this adventure trips that I do. So I have an army truck registered, completely legal. I've done my caravan, works
Wow.
out. Yeah, and then gypsy becomes like a towing thing for my boat that I jet ski is another ride that I have.
Yeah.
But
That's the
al-
Kawasaki.
The Kawasaki,
Yeah.
1300cc.
Wow.
And apart from that, I think I'm sitting on a stage 2 Accord. We look forward to make it a drag spec car.
Yeah.
And there's something that's very special that I've procured, and there are 3 in numbers, same cars, which I'll probably want to reveal a little later in the show.
Okay,
Sure.
cool.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about.
No,
Let's
you
talk
know,
about.
You know what we should talk about before we go on to anything else? Motorcycles. For a bit. He has some motorcycles as well.
Do you?
Oh, totally.
Do you ride? I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah. I've raced a lot of motorcycles.
Oh, acha, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Get an erection. Go on.
So yeah, I mean, motorcycle has been in the family, and I think grown seeing them in the family. There's always been a racing trend in the family. So dad's always been a racer. He's won the first para motocross that I was ever organized. Adil sir was the organizer. He's won the 4 square para motocross. So family's always been associated with MX very closely. That's how I know a lot of people in circuit. That's how I sit on 3 bikes. One is an Enduro MX KTM 125. Second one is a pure MX, which is Kawasaki 2019. Recently procured a rally.
Suzuki?
The Suzuki
I saw
450.
that
That's a
picture.
rally thing. Yeah. And I'm starting my rally journey. Always wanted to do it. But May end is where I start this season. The very first rally race. I've done it in the past, but on and off.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more ready now than ever.
You're doing a whole season.
Yeah, the whole season.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a Ducati also in the middle?
I
Like a very rare.
always been a Ducati guy. Ride a sled. That was more like a
sled.
touring vehicle. One of the
What's a sled?
the
There's a
Ducati sled, the bigger version of the Scrambler, the off-road version.
Okay. There, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Could always associate it to the love of the RDs, how RD is similar to that. I mean, the bike is not very.
And wasn't that the first one in the country or something like that?
Yeah, mine was. It always the day I looked at it and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is the one that I want to get home.
Yeah.
I didn't officially procure one, but I was one of them to book. Like, technically, she's the one. She's the first one of
In the
India,
country.
in the country.
Nice. I think all of us here are Ducati people because we were literally just talking about like his journey at PowerDrift,
Right.
and we were both talking about how like we both want our next motorcycles to be Ducatis.
Yeah. Pranav keeps inviting me. Pranav
Oh,
is a
yeah.
common friend, by the way. He keeps inviting me. Like, yaar, tu aa. We'll figure out alone. We'll figure out.
This is the
we'll
dealership guy.
He'll
Shit,
keep calling
don't
me
never
up.
take me there. Huh?
But yeah, I mean, worked in the
Yeah.
president space for the club, and I think it's a
Oh, you
lovely
were?
bunch of
Okay,
people. My Fridays are booked for Ducatis, and it's a different love altogether. I've had so many friends who've become like brothers to me there, and it's a family that says go to space on my Friday. My Fridays are strictly reserved for Ducatis.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we started the show by saying you are somebody that is really sort of pushing the car culture without an agenda, which is very important because the auto enthusiast space has egos the size of the piano behind the camera there. Tell us about Underground. Tell us how it started. Tell us how it all came together. There have been quite a few shows now,
Yeah.
and some of the videos go very, very, very viral.
Right.
And people are like always asking about it. People are always wanting to participate from all over the country. But you've kept it very
Exclusive.
well.
I think exclusive is also.
I was going to say control, but that's probably not the right word. You've kept it very curated. So tell us more about it.
I think also with the how. Tell us why.
Okay. So see, I mean, about cars, there's always a space for racing that we've seen in India.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I've never been able to get myself into rallying. My dad's done the rallies in 1981, 82, and 83 is when I was born.
Himalayan?
Himalayan rally. Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Dude.
And probably the reason is since I followed you, I've known about your dad and
Yeah.
that's the legacy, and I realized who were my dad's friend circle.
That's
I
crazy.
read I have all the booklet. If I ever show
I have the
still
road books.
goosebumps on me.
I have the road books at home.
Exactly. I do
my
have
dad
them.
made the 81, 82 road books.
My dad has too, and
Yeah?
there's a mention of your dad on that road book. I've showed it to Adil sir recently.
What a small world.
Yeah, I got to show you the medals that I have it from him. My prizest possession ever. So I mean, cars always been in the family, and mine is a joint family. My uncles has been racing, my dad's been racing. They've had a different taste about cars. So I've had Miatas, I've had the Gypsies, I have the Fiats, and we've seen these cars. So if I couldn't race, I would want to procure these cars and at least have them. What are my best list of what is my salon that fits me. I love to have it. What's like a off-roader, like a Gypsy was the one, like always dreamt about it. Then this pickup culture, my dad always was a Tata Mobile guy. We've always known of sitting at the rear and going to the farms and all of that. So that's how Isuzu came in as well. And I've known of a lot of friends who may not be very rich, but if they have that one car, it could be an 800, they've just kept it to a level which is crazy. It would put to a shame to a lot of guys who call themselves passionate because of the money that they have. And that's not for me. I don't associate with those guys. But is there a space that exists for people like that? And there are just so many of them. And then I started meeting them through Instagram, through Facebook. And I like a Zen follower page, and there's Esteem follower page, like a Lancer. We've all had a thing for these cars. And that's how I got hooked on to. And there are so many such people that I learned about. It's like, okay, then let's just go about, is there a space that exists for something like that? It's like a casual coffee meet that may exist. But then you have those people who probably come and rev and want to show off and all of that. Like, okay, why not create something? It may take some time, and that's how the existence of an underground came in. I was very conscious, would I want to really name this as an underground? So when I said, when I started, while people knew who were part of it as an underground, but it was always known as When the Pistons Meet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's how we named it. We didn't want the underground to be tagged as what people know as underground, because then it'll attract wrong energies. We clearly, we were starting, we were heading to a journey. And then when I started, Varun, you'd be surprised. I didn't have to do a lot of hard work. While passion was there, and it just fell in place.
Because you had people in that same circle?
Yeah, people could just understand me out of one meet. Then I had them supporting me, saying that, Jeet, let's just do it again. What do you think? What are the challenges? And then I've had some friends who were with me as bikers. They realized they were so closely associated with cars. And then it just became a thing where everybody just wanted to do it. It wasn't just me. And then from an edition 1 that happened out of my house in my basement, to a level where I know, like Cyrus mentioned, like a post that went out yesterday in my office today. I mean, I don't know if my boss listening to this, but I had about a dedicated 4 hours just replying to his message. Hey, don't go crazy. It's not something that you see. It's not about girls. It's not about the fancy thing that we do. It's just about the community. It's just about the guys who are maintaining things. And my back-end team, I had to pull a back-end team just to ensure that we're putting in the right set of people. I mean, imagine somebody comes in there, like a Mr. Poonawala shows up. He comes with a lot of his inventories in the last meet. If some stupid guy just showed up calling himself as a passionate guy, bumps into it, don't listen to us, or probably is drunk, imagine the damage it'll do to the community. So yes, a lot of hard work is there to kind of understand and set the right examples to make people understand, hey, this may not be the community that you're looking at. This is not a showcase arena or something. So it's just a community where I can go back and talk to a guy, how have you procured a 800? How are you managing it? How are you where are you getting the parts from? Like I maybe want somebody who wants to. So this is a platform for somebody who wants to do a Zen up or who wants to do an Esteem up, and is not ashamed of having his grandfather's car. Is just probably feeling pride about maintaining this, or probably enjoying a drive around this, and that's how the whole community is coming together. And I think I'll probably want to be taking some pride on saying that we've been able to influence the right set of people to an extent. We've met some jokers on the way, but those jokers, I mean, we see a lot of posts coming in from Cyrus, and that's a hard message that's going out to the community. Hey, we're here to grow. We're happy to support, but in the right manner. Come on, let's just do it in the way where it's been appreciated. To a point where I have families coming to the meet, and I take huge pride around that. I mean, it's a great thing when the families are appreciating a culture like this. Then you're heading in the right direction.
Is it difficult to say no though? Because like I'll give you an example. I'm going to ask a very hard question probably. And it's something I realized when I came to the last meet that I was at. Now I know my tastes and everybody else's. Two people cannot have the same taste.
Yeah.
Is it hard to weed out people?
Well, you'll probably want to give it a benefit of doubt. He may have been influenced with the wrong set of people. That's why he is like that. But I would want to give him a chance.
Just for the reference sake, we're not talking about anyone. Talking about just general. Yeah. Because I think the world is, I'm probably going to say this and get hate for it, but whatever. The world is moving to cleaner built cars from this craziness that we saw like a few years ago. Of course, there is a segment of people who always be crazy. But then you still have those crazy, bright, like garish sort of modded cars that come. Not necessarily garish in a negative way. Like that's just how some people like to build their cars. Is it the easiest question I guess would be, is it inclusive enough for everybody?
Well, we've had like you said it.
As long as you behave.
Yeah, I mean, you may have a different taste, and it's respected in the community. Go back to learn about basics that we're probably trying to follow. Respect each other, And then it took us some time to go back and drive that. That's the reason why there was so much of filtration that we did when we bought in. There's a lot of wording that hits to you when you probably first time when you reach out saying that, hey, we do this for a reason. This is what has happened in the past. That's the reason we don't want this to repeat.
Sure.
And when you're trying to do an underground, you probably are moved to a group which is a WhatsApp group governed by people. And then there obviously, because the intention is not money, which is driving culture, it makes the job a slightly more easier than that. And then I want to tell you, Varun, then there are certain people who moved their job to make to open up a car accessory shop to modify cars. That's how the cultures move, and we owe back to them. They're the ones who, if they don't sustain, there will be no good cars around. True. And they've looked back at community bin building. That's the reason why they shifted their whole culture of, moved from a restaurant business to
a different profession only.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I'll also have to look back at those garages. If you're not entertaining a mod which is probably personalizing in the way I like it, then there will be no modded cars. There will be no tuned cars.
Sure.
Do you really want to go back and have that guy being a hooligan on the road? Do you want really him to show up in colleges who are people who are barely 16, 17 years, for them to go back and
with a yellow
burn
SLK
out and then go back to slide in?
with a yellow SLK?
The yellow SLK.
That video was crazy, man.
We've had him doing similar thing at Valley Run. We pulled him on side.
Oh, same person.
Yeah. Why? So he entered the drift arena saying, I want to just do one single drift. He saw Sanam doing it. I was like, hey, I don't know how well you do it. We'll have to probably move everybody out. I'll allow you. But you gotta guarantee me that you're not gonna just get influenced with the crowd and go back to just do whatever you think is right. You just probably take a spin, see if it's happening, otherwise you pull over.
Wow.
Back then I thought I put a message.
I thought that video was like from the north or something. It's from around Maharashtra.
It's from the MIT college. It's like
really?
about 6 kilometers from here.
Oh.
Yeah, same guy.
So
okay.
I'm unaware.
This guy just shows up on a MIT college meet, if I could name the college here.
That's fine.
And he goes back to just swing the car, which is out of his control. It's an old SLK, didn't brake the way it is supposed to. He just bumped into the car.
No, but I guess, see, there are always going to be people like this.
Yeah.
The one way of looking at it is, and the easier way of, I guess, looking at it is like, oh, this guy's an idiot. Let him be. The other way of looking at it is, sitting him down saying, listen, dude.
Yeah.
All of us are in this for the culture. All of us are in this because we love cars. Adapt, maybe evolve a little bit. I mean, some people listen, some people don't. And if they don't, they don't? What do you do?
Look, Cyrus, I mean, we've been very loud and upfront saying that, hey, nobody's here just to show off.
Yeah.
There is somebody who's just owns the car. That's the reason we've been refraining a lot of visitors in our.
Yeah,
a lot of people
yeah.
say like, I'm going to help you grow this
Yeah.
community. Please allow me as a visitor. You're going to be clicking that guy and he's going to get influenced saying that, oh boss, I am the guy. Why
true.
am I not, my reel's now going viral? So visitors are probably a wrong influencer, if I could say so.
Sure.
That's the reason why there's strictly no visitors. So for me, it's another guy with another car.
That's awesome.
So there's nothing for you to feel anything about. Nobody's going to shoot you because he's there for a community again.
and
Yeah.
sorry, the variety of cars that were there last time around.
I was there with Rohan on one of the meets. I think it was 5 or something.
5?
Westin mein jo hua tha.
Oh yeah, that was 5.
That was
You'd driven with Rohan
In
in the Supra.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was everything from Sanam's drift car, and then there was like an Aventador, and then there were like your camper trucks, and then there were gypsies and off-roaders, and,
Yeah. I
and
think its variety
Yeah.
is what is also really nice about
Right.
the event. But I want to ask you about some numbers.
Right.
When you did it for the first time, when was that?
This is exactly about 2012.
So that's about 11 years.
dude, you've been
16th of
around
May.
doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
And how many people turned up for that event?
For the first one, we were about 18 of them.
And the last one was last year.
Last one was about November last year.
And how many people turned up for that?
We were about 899, just to give you a perfect number.
899.
899.
899.
So 900 cars came.
Cars were about 321 tuned cars.
Yeah. I just wanted to get a sense of this thing
Scale.
where you start. Yeah.
Yeah.
From where you started and where you at. And I believe there's another event happening now.
Yeah, so tell us about that. Tell us
That's where
about
we are getting
this
to.
new. Yeah, that's why he's here.
Yeah, exactly.
So this one's gonna be. This one is interesting because you're doing it across 2 cities.
Right.
First time.
You're probably hearing it for the first time in this podcast.
Exclusive then.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, okay, I think PowerDrift is being the thing, and I'd love to disclose some details here. And I think I'll probably encourage some more people to listen to this. So, yes, it's a very special edition that we're trying to do. I thought we did everything that an India has to offer. We put drift, we put under the control environment, we put a drift scene, we put with a drag scene. All of that happened then, and then we said, what next? That's when we kind of got a call from the Universal Studios. They kind of liked how the scene's going, how clean the culture is. They liked how this thing is happening in India. They probably looked around in the other places of the world. It wasn't as loud at this because they were presented to say how can we do this as world premiere? What place should be chosen? I'm probably.
Wait, are we getting the world premiere in India?
The world premiere happens at 2 countries simultaneously.
Okay.
The first one is in Rome with the star cast.
Right,
So
that's
I had to
because
pull in
it's
some
based
star
in
cast.
Rome, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And the second one is happening in India, and for the very first time in Pune.
That
Dude, that's-
is crazy.
No, now that we didn't know.
That we didn't know, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to know
And
more.
sorry, one second. Are you saying that there are people from the cast going to be here?
Well,
Probably.
Universal is not promised us in clear words.
Okay.
But there are possibilities of some people from India to go and attend
The premiere in
Rome
Rome.
premiere.
Oh, killer. That's mad.
And that's going to be a car guy or a car girl.
Nice.
We're looking at
So
that.
that's
Now you're getting
sick.
an erection. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, always perennial erection.
But anyway, go on, Jeet. Yeah.
Okay, so we were any sort of underground that happens later in the year because we like the weather to be even supportive because it gets crowded and then it's a little dusty. But then yes, the Fastex we were curious about and we were hoping we'll do something around this. So as we were planning at the back end, we happened to get this call from the Universal Studios. Lucky for us, and it wasn't me and my team got it. And I mean, about my team, we are about 7 of us, all bikers, all racers.
Yeah.
And that's when we came together to see, do we really want to take this? This is too big of an opportunity to work with. It's a brand, but we've all grown watching these movies. To have launch a premiere will be even more mad.
Yeah.
So yes, and there are a lot of to fro happens. We thought of a lot of things that could possibly go wrong, and then how we'd like to project this because it's going to be not just India. It's going to be a world premiere. A lot of things will be looked up by other people as well. So yes, so far the run's been good. It's been a madhouse since we've signed up a deal with Universal Studios, and I think the attention from people that we've got has been amazing. I think the trend-wise trend per se. I mean, with Fastex, if there's anything that we could probably get is a good sense of driving, good sense of automotive culture that we could build around it, and that's how we're looking at it as an opportunity with Fastex.
So how does this happen? I mean, you have an underground event and people get to see the premiere at your event.
Well, underlining, yes, it's a premiere and underground. I'll probably leave for the crowd to think through how. If I probably do this, then the location and the madhouse that's going to get created at the place is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's really nice about the underground event.
You don't
it's
tell us where it
actually-
is.
Yeah.
Till like
it's
a day
actually
before.
an underground event where the invites are sent to particular people,
Yeah.
and then they get a message or something saying that
Right.
Yeah.
this is where it's happening on at the very last second.
24 hours ago? 24 hours?
24 hours ago,
Little bit.
strictly.
Huh.
Strictly, which
Yeah.
is crazy, man,
Yeah.
because the rest of the world doesn't know
Yeah.
where the car meets happening.
Dude, I tried so hard to tell me the place.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I have no idea about Pune in general.
Yeah.
Just generally give me a...
No,
He said,
it's very strict. But I love it, man.
24 hours.
That's how it should be. Because,
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah, I mean
known-
the whole idea about how is it going to happen, where is it going to happen is some sense of underground feel that happens. And then what we do underground is also coming with a lot of security, safety standards. There's never been an edition that we've not kept a cops informed of what we're doing.
Sure.
There's always been a sense of driving, good driving sense is what we've driven through us. We do not allow people without licenses. We do not allow driving license for that matter, even PUC and insurance for that matter.
Sure.
Yeah, so anything which is illegal, we don't want to associate because the name itself could be very.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So we've had cops coming over, we've had family, we've gone back and presented this is what we're doing. We've been very.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and
we've
you've
been
got
very
all the
open.
support as well.
Absolutely.
That's so nice. Yeah.
Tell me
In fact-
one good thing from these many years, like one good memory and one bad memory.
Okay, good memory per se. I'd probably want to go back to Westin. So, world looked very different. It was during just about COVID. Nobody would entertain us from the venue perspective, and we knew we were late in the game for the year to plan an underground. And I think the Westin negotiation took a lot of time. They would say no every time that we reached out. Though we wanted to sell them, we wanted to give them a business. The rooms were sold out, and we calling people from all over India. We booked their theatre house and all of that. Every time that we negotiated, it was just said no. This is too loud of a culture for Westin. We would probably be, in spite of so many examples that we could give them, and this is how we're going to do it, and all that rest assurance. There's this director in general who would probably be heading Westin. He was our last hope out of all the denials that we've had from all the places otherwise. But I think for him to kind of understood, because he was a car guy, that's what we realized. For him to say, hey, listen, we know we've turned you off. It's very awful of us. I don't think so. That's how the brand is supposed to be. Here's your permission, send you apology letter, and they're like, okay.
No way.
Yeah.
So this
Nice.
was the one, this was Underground 5.
Yeah, Underground
That's
5.
crazy.
Yeah.
And one bad memory.
Bad memory per
Without
se.
taking names is also okay.
Okay. One of our friends, and I think we go back to take pride in our friends, in the community that we built. A very close friend goes back to at least show that he's a passionate car guy. Shows up in a scene. Obviously, nobody's going to check him, or because we do all the checks on the car and all that. He carries liquor in the car. Now he's trying to do a burnout around the scene. He's lost his shit. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then for a friend to do something like that in a scene which
It's
is
more
that
hurtful,
big.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you're associated with that guy. And then there's so many questions being raised that what you speak, you don't follow. Your friends are doing completely different. Very awful experience for us. It's a letdown, and somebody has to pick that as an example. I will probably be short of words. Yeah. So I think then to kind of always lead as an example, choose whom I be calling friend in an association like this. So we are very close knit about just 7 of us, go back to take decisions together. And I think just because we're talking about a decibel, which is about 1,000 odd people showing up in a scene like this, and with Mr. Poonawala and the who's who of Pune shows up with multi-million car.
This is
world
Johan,
cars.
right? Or other?
Johan Poonawala.
Johan does.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you had the...
Yeah. So I mean, with things can go like possibly wrong like this. There's a lot of planning that goes in, but I think the team gets together to deliver what it takes. But now things are relatively easier because we know the drill.
Yeah.
How do you choose what comes and what doesn't come?
Look, Cyrus, I mean that's where
how many entries do you get normally? Like you
Like
said
you
300 and
320,
something, right?
Correct, yeah.
How many entries do you get? Like 1,000 plus?
Okay, 1,000 plus cars, Cyrus. I mean entries. At least the people who express want to be a part of this. Some you'd be surprised probably would share a picture of somebody else's car.
Wow.
Then how do you go back to?
Oh shit! Doesn't that happen today? Like the day this is being recorded.
Yeah, there's something that's happening.
We need to tell you this
People
later.
want to be a part of this or some other mean. And then the backend team would go back and check the profile, go back, verify the number. And then you obviously over the course of time you start developing who's the car guy, who actually owns this car. Then you have multiple pitches to support that. And then is it recently procured or been made by somebody? And those people. And then I have a very small appetite for genuine car enthusiasts who will probably turn up as a visitor. Among them, there are these even more genuine guys who will probably form part of my team.
Sure.
There's no relation until this meet is happening. I meet them a week before. They've done their homework. They've learned about cars. They've come back and supported me as my crew.
Nice.
In turn, what do I give them? An experience. They're all been taken care of from a food, everything, and experience standpoint. They're well informed of what's happening, and you will be amazed because of these people. I think it's half of the stress being taken care of. Some of them have been with me for the last 6 editions. It's come to that point where I can just go back and trust him to say that, boss, this guy is good. He's a so they've learned over the course of time to choose my people who are going to show up in the committee as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and they may be like just fresh out of the college, an engineer. They could be as young as 21. But there's strict instructions out there saying that nobody messes with my crew. They are people hand selected and they're very hardworking guys. They've not let me down.
Sure.
It can be really tiring to start your day from 5 o'clock. I mean, 5 p.m. is when the underground starts. So the crew has to be reaching the venue
before
about
that.
2.
Yes.
And to stay all the way till 2 o'clock in the night and just at that one place managing. And he's not even, there's so much attraction that's happening. There's so much happening. They won't move their place to even take the photo of that.
That's amazing, man. I think it's important to have that.
I think always great to have a crew that's, guys, all these guys behind the camera are always there to support us.
Yeah. Why don't you
Because
just
of
give them a shout out?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening, I mean, everybody would want to be interested to know. But I think underground to the level what it is today, I don't think so. I can imagine this without Rohan, without Anubhav, without Hitesh, without Dhanraj, without Sam Patil, without Shiv, and these are my colleagues. Then probably they take over 5 crews each. But I think I would probably be short of names here, but there are 20 people that I sit in my hardcore team, and they are the ones who make this. I may be the face of it, but believe me, I think what I'm doing is just 20% of it. Everything else is done, all the dirty work is done by these guys back.
It's great, man, to know the names of these people, and I know a lot of them because we played football together too. So it's great, man. It's great.
We've talked about what's happening next. Obviously, you don't want to give out a lot of stuff, which is the way you guys operate, and that's awesome. Can we talk about the 2-city thing?
Oh yes. So I think it's an interesting forum for me to kind of disclose this because it's going to get a little messy, and my team itself is a little shocked to see how we're going to manage this. Okay, so underground premiere per se, the world premiere is going to happen in Pune. And we're gonna follow it up with an underground, or probably do it up with an underground, then a premiere, and then we move into Bombay. A Bombay setup is completely different. We're looking at doing a premiere that a Bombay does in the way it does. A lot of media, a lot of Bollywood, a lot of starcast, a lot of automobile, and as well as the regular media that's going to show up at that place. But how is Bombay different than Pune? For the first time, there are going to about 100 plus tuned cars going to drive into a open air theatre. Just the community.
Should we blank out that part that you just said? Because there's only
there's only one maybe.
They're gonna probably blank out that as well now.
Yeah, I think I'm okay for them to know that there's a geo drive that's planned.
Okay.
And the community is going to be restricted to the community.
Sure.
Because there's no underground that's going to happen in Bombay. It's just a drive for everybody around the country
so
to show up.
details can be out.
Yeah.
Okay.
For everybody around the country to be there and watch the movie together, and then obviously share the whole patch, and then of course feel the red carpet feel of the premiere.
Sure.
That's going to happen because Bombay has its own set of car guys who probably, like you said, there are crazy amount of cars who are not willing to move out of Bombay.
Yeah.
Then for a geo drive would be an amazing place for them to all show up, and imagine a night where you're watching a movie with about 100 tuned cars.
Sure. Yeah.
Or at least passionate car guys.
Does it have to be a tuned car? Does it?
Passionately maintained car,
That's,
like I said.
That's Cyrus asking for an entry.
Dude, I have so many cars to choose from. Something will work. Something will match the criteria. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, but superb, man. I have one last question for you. I mean, of course, the underground will keep happening every year and stuff like that. But what's next for you as Jeet Tapaswi, the racer, or the enthusiast rather?
Varun, for me, I think that has been a perpetual question. But India, as a culture, we were great when it comes to motorsports back then, like what I known of. It died thankfully it's just picking up thanks to
Yeah.
likes of Sham Kutari, likes of FMSCI for that
Is
matter.
Sham still around?
Yeah.
Is he?
Very strongly.
Supercross
Why
event
you
is,
say you need to give me his number later?
Oh,
I haven't
100%.
spoken to him in like a decade.
Oh, yes. He's been doing fantastic. He's been creating a legacy like nobody else can create. Forever kept the sport alive.
Yeah.
2 wheels, right?
2 wheels.
Yeah.
And then now rally format from a MX
Yeah,
format as well.
nice.
So for me personally, Varun, I'd probably want to see myself doing autocross. A rally bike is up in the game. I'd probably want to try some international rallies as well.
Sure.
For the sheer reason because it's running in the blood, and I think I have more
It's a family thing as
to
well.
prove in terms of rally and the competition per se. But yes, I think from whatever we can create, we'd probably want to go back and help everybody who wants to do underground in their own cities.
Sure.
So we'd want to go to the culture that way. But kid you not, we were already in conversation. We were hoping we'll probably get somebody. If this was underground happening later in the year, we'd already roped in about 5 cars from Dubai and 5 cars from Thailand.
Nice.
For the people to see what is it that you can possibly do, what's the limit looking like. From here, it's pretty much stagnant. There's very limited that's coming out.
Sure.
We want to inspire and do ourselves.
Is there though? Because we've been seeing some mega builds happening.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, you should actually consider like Bangalore, down south, Delhi maybe.
That's already coming, isn't it?
yeah,
There
we've
are
done a
already
lot of
coming.
trip there. We've checked
Yeah, it's
cars.
crazy,
We've
man.
roping in a lot of people. We've in fact invited a few people that are coming in for this underground as well. They can't come in with their car because maybe an expensive one. We're flying them down to stay with us and experience this whole thing. And
That's
then
crazy.
Yeah, for them to take the message back.
What's your like dream underground scenario?
Okay, I don't know how this will go with you,
Yeah.
but it was already planned for this year. The Dream Underground, like I said.
Okay.
In limited words, it's a supersonic main stage, followed by cars from Thailand and
What's
Dubai.
that? You mean the VH1 Supersonic?
Yeah. So when I'm putting that across to you because I was a part of VH1 Supersonic this time, just
Okay.
as a guest visiting them. That's how I'd probably imagine an Indian underground car scene with cars from all over the
Music,
country.
cars, people.
A bit of people like
a carnival.
like a carnival.
Basically Forza Horizon. in real life.
Yeah. And I would probably want to follow it up with Mercedes only bringing the AMGs, BMW only putting
the
in
M
the M
lineup.
categories.
And, sure.
And then car enthusiasts from all over the country on an invite to show up or for a meet and spend a night like that.
That's crazy, dude. You should
That's
think about
insane.
some nice collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were there last time around, and
It was mad, huh?
crazy. The only issue we had is we couldn't do YouTube because there was music playing in the background,
So
and
there's no
I,
sound,
I
yeah.
can't do copyright music.
Yeah. But anyway, man, it was great hearing from you. Thank you for taking the time out. Thank you for answering the
Pleasure.
questions. And
Pleasure.
I think by the time this podcast rolls out, which we will roll
Next
out
week.
Next week. We'll roll this out next Friday.
So next Friday we're shooting
just
this.
say the date. Yeah.
5th of May.
5th of May
Okay.
is when people will get to know about this event and hopefully understand a bit of what you want to portray with underground as a
Wow.
car culture, and hopefully get inspired and build something on their own and hopefully participate or get to participate in your event.
No, I think pleasure's mine. Varun, like I said, PD was always a fanboy for PD, and then of course Cyrus, sharing a chair with Cyrus himself is a big deal for me.
Come on, man.
Definite
But
direction.
yes, I've seen a lot of videos, learned a lot of things from you, and I think I would probably want to be very open and proud about it. But yes, I think India has never seen a lot of drift. We've got inspired from Sanam. He
Yeah.
plays a big role in inspiring us.
There's been a crazy attraction to drift in the last 6 months, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Records being shattered, people
Yeah, it was
going crazy,
man.
builds
And I've
happening.
seen him. I would love to sit in his Lexus one day.
Oh,
So
you're
we'll-
more than welcome.
Yeah,
This
we'll
underground
make
probably
that
will
happen.
try and have you some
yeah,
space
for
with him.
sure.
But leaving on the note where you'll probably see 3 very professionally built drift cars that's getting unveiled in this underground edition.
Okay.
Sweet.
We're
I've heard
announcing
of
a
those.
drift school in Pune.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah,
Superb. So lots of interesting
One
things
more
then
video for
coming
us
up.
to do.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you for taking the time out.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Once again, just on an ending note, that's Jeet Tapaswi. His underground event keeps happening every year. This year is a
No,
special
more
one.
than once here, isn't it now?
Once in a year for sure.
For
It may be a
sure.
calendar year. It'll hit you once in a year,
Huh.
but just
For
a calendar
sure.
year.
But
Once
the
in a
next one's
calendar year.
super special. It's going to be a premiere. You heard it first on the PowerDrift Podcast. This is available in the audio format on all podcasting platforms, only on video on YouTube. So if you want to know anything more, please drop a comment. I'm sure Jeet will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. And like, comment, share, and subscribe to PowerDrift.
Also, please comment and tell us what Rohan should bring to
You've
this.
got only 2 cars.
No, 2 cars. So what he should bring from those 2.
And you'll drive the
And
other.
no, I'll bring one of mine.
Ah,
So what we should
Soon
bring.
after the podcast, I just go figure out where Rohan is and book his Supra.
For sure. All right, superb. Thank you for watching.
you.
See you soon. Bye.